Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. If it's the first time here or your first time here, be sure to smash that subscribe button, help your boy out. I'll be asking a little bit more about that later, but of course, share, like, comment. You know the drill. Today, I want to get into on the Lord's Day. God bless. On Sunday, I want to get into a debate that I saw it was actually done a little while ago, probably 2 weeks, but I just went through it last week while, working out in the morning, lifted weights, let's go, and, working. And up front, okay, if the idea of universal basic income had come to me even 2 years ago, I would say no way, no bugging way. Okay. I would have said that it was a socialist thing. It was a way to get the government more power, more say so over us. And I got to tell you, I went into watching this debate with virtually zero bias. I mean, I know what I just said, but I didn't feel as strongly about it as I do about, say abortion or, COOF or, list the talking points. And I got to tell you, Kai Schwemmer totally sold me on this. He really, really did. And I'm gonna try and play a little bit from it. And it's just funny because the guy that he was debating is the classic boomer conservative, millennial conservative, who is always screaming, "My taxes, but my taxes." And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. We're getting our asses kicked, and you're screaming to me about my taxes and all these dumbass things. It's, or, the economy, all these things, capitalism, yeah. And that's who they are. And, listen, my grandpa is that same guy. What you'll find with boomer conservatives is very simple. The difference between them, boomer/millennial conservatives, the difference between them and the new generation of conservatives, who are pretty much the same as the old Pat Buchanan conservatives, is the millennial and boomer conservatives. They care about patriotism and they care about nationalism, but they will always put the economy, capitalism, and all that shit before they put anything that has to do with culture, race, thinking outside the box, things like that. They will always put that before. This type of conservative is the conservative who, argues that we should defend Israel at all costs. And the type. And listen, I'm not getting into all those things. Okay, let's go. But because that's something for a different topic. I'm just simply giving you guys an example of those conservatives versus the newer generation. And the newer generation is far more interested in the well-being and the culture, the morality of the American people. A common statement that you will find with boomer conservatives is that who gives me the right to tell you how to live your life? Who gave me the right? Well, God did. I don't know. Okay. The reality is this, is we are where we are now because those conservatives, the boomer conservatives, the millennial conservatives sat back and said, who am I? The whole way that they are saying, who am I to say so? They're bitching and complaining like dorks, all the way to CRT, to transgenderism, to, gay marriage. I mean, you name it. They have done nothing to thwart the immoral, disgusting culture we live in today. They've done nothing. And I think you're seeing that change, because I think you're seeing with the younger generation and with, well, people who get it regardless of the generations, I think what you're seeing is a group of people who are tired of fucking losing. And it just is what it is. I know I am. My whole life has been one after another L, 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 and L. Just one after the other. There's not one major issue that my side has won in my lifetime. In my life. And it's sad, man. It really is. Because in my eyes, if you know what is right, if you believe your worldview is moral, it's correct, it's what should be done, then it is your duty to implement it to the masses. It is your duty to do that. I don't know how else to say it. All right, let's watch a little bit of this. Hopefully hot ass Brittany does not copyright me. We'll see. This is politically provoked, so we will see. The guy that Kai is debating is this guy, critical thinking veteran, CTV, is every dude I have known in my life who has served in the military. They end up going through the grinder of getting just screwed left and right by their government, their people, that they come out the other end because they didn't do anything. And they say at the other end, of course, that what gives me the right? Because I don't want to do to other people what's done to me. And of course, it's not the same at all. All right, let's watch a little bit of this. Universal basic income. Let me turn the sound on right quick. By the way, my boy Kai gave me a retweet, which was pretty sick. Where I grew up in Cali, there is a large, I don't know for sure if Kai is Mormon. I think he is. There is a large Mormon group. And, listen, I don't agree with them religiously, but, for the most part, they are loyal, traditional, good people.
Out and yada, 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 right? But
real quick, before we continue, this guy's,
I would imagine myself being able to look back and appreciate the history of how the nation was formed and going, you know what, if it's England, right? That is kind of like where the idea started. Yeah, we kicked them.
So what are you saying? That because it came from England, we can't implement it? Anyways.
In the fucking head and said, get the fuck out of here. We got the shit now, right? Leave us.
I don't know exactly
Continue,
where
I'm still listening.
all the talking points that I want to get to are at. So we're just going to play some of the highlights. And that is that.
Yeah. However, because the government did not, because of what it was demanding of the people, like it didn't. There's so much more that the government could.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Kai, let's go.
Let's actually, I'm going to bring this up too. Let's look it up. You said Merriam-Webster, and the definition is of subsidy. Let's look this up.
So CTV says that universal basic incomes are subsidies. And Kai is going to basically argue that they are not, that the definition of subsidy does not fit what a universal basic income. We're not going to watch too
It's
much
how
more
that
of this,
individual spends that money in the market.
I think I'm being like gaslit right now. I think I'm being gaslit. I don't think anybody can read this definition and think this is applying to anything other than what it says, which is an enterprise deemed. By the way, hold on.
CTV thinks that individual people can be counted as an enterprise, which of course is fucking stupid. That is not the case.
It's important to mention the first word. It's important to mention the first word. A company or an enterprise deemed advantageous to the public. So let's look up enterprise.
So they go back and forth on the definition. And, that's why sometimes I kind of think that these debates, they're fun to watch, but, ultimately they don't necessarily accomplish a whole bunch. Now, I do think that they accomplish a little with regards to who watches it and who can be swayed, but I'm just going to sum up for you guys Kai's position, because I don't feel like shifting through all this shit. And quite frankly, critical CTV's voice bothers the hell out of me. We don't fucking, I can't even do it. Anyway, so Kai's what the fuck, dude? That's how he goes. What the fuck, dude? Let's go. Oh man, what the fuck? Yes. Anyways, sorry. Kai's stance is that it is a few things. One, UBI is not a form of socialism or anything like that, okay? Which I would agree with. I don't think it is. I think any form of government can use it without it necessarily being socialism. Because at the end of the day, it's just one facet. Socialism is a whole structure where at every level it is socialism at every level, okay? Whereas if you just have the UBI in and of itself, that's just one thing to the overall structure. Anyways, Kai says that it's not socialism, and he says that the crux of his argument is that the government is spending so much money in foreign wars, that does nothing for us Americans. The American government is doing so much that has nothing to do with us, the American people, that we absolutely should get some of that money in the form of a UBI. And he makes examples. He further makes his case by saying that, UBI improves health. He says that Alaska has it, and he gives some other examples of other places that have it. By the way, Alaska is one of the most conservative places in the world, okay? So he says it improves happiness because when you have that consistent money, you can go and pursue your real interests without the burden of having to worry about being homeless, okay? Okay. And that is basically his argument. The other thing that he points out is that this would incentivize the family structure. And if you were to replace welfare for women with UBI that they could put into a family, it would help a lot more, or at the very least, it would be way better for the family unit and women as a whole. I don't know if he said that part, but so I think don't. Anyways, anyways, uh, it would be better for the family. At the very least, it would be better than the welfare state, as the welfare state basically encourages women to not be married, to not have a kid, whereas UBI, well, actually, it does encourage them to have kids. In other words, welfare encourages women to have the most amount of kids they can without a husband, okay? Because the government is their husband. Whereas UBI, UBI is, UBI would not encourage anything because it's just a flat rate of money with no strings attached. And, CTV, I had never heard of this guy before this video. I have long since graduated from people like CTV, Steven Crowder, and those knuckle draggers. And CTV, basically, his counter argument is that if you were to implement a UBI, he asked the question, where's the money going to come from? And that prices would rise for goods in America. And Kai's response to that is that's not true, because everyone spends their money differently. So let's just use milk. Not everybody buys the same amount of milk or even wants milk, okay? So if we just use milk as the example and you have a UBI, the prices would not go up because not everyone does the same thing with their money. The prices would rise if people did similar things with their UBI, almost the exact same thing as another person with their UBI money. But of course, people do different things with their money. In conclusion, okay, and I actually am going to be doing another video from this debate on sex before marriage. And listen, like I said, I used to be someone who 100% agreed with CTV. I was always, against handouts and this and this and this. And I think Kai, he sold me, man, because the reality is that with automation coming, and it is coming for people's jobs, with rent and all of these things being so expensive, with all of these factors, UBI would allow people more breathing room, happiness, and a chance to pursue things that they actually love. And I agree. And I don't view it as a socialistic thing at all. And furthermore, as Kai said, the government is spending the money anyways. Why not have them give it back to us for a change? So there you have it. Like I said, I could not agree more. I think CTV is a classic boomer conservative. Doesn't really surprise me, his thinking on all of this. I'm with Kai. Kai, you sold me on this. Congrats, buddy. And I think moving forward, I'm going to be pounding the desk for UBI. I really am, because now my only question with UBI would be this, okay? Because I have worked in, let's just say, the health fields, more specifically behavioral health and mental health fields. And there was one client that I had who literally was an illegal. Okay. And this client was receiving government benefits as much as a citizen was. Okay. And I'm not saying this because I, am trying to, snitch on him or anything like that, even though I kind of did. I'm only saying it to say that if there was a UBI, the only question I would have is if the government was going to give it solely to American citizens, or if they would even care about that at all. I think they would have to 100% give it to American citizens. And by the way, UBI, and Kai didn't point this out, but UBI, because of the verification that would be required, would weed out and expose all the illegals in this country, because you would need to show verification as an American individual citizen in order to receive your UBI. Anyways, all right, guys, let's wrap this up. I am in favor of UBI 100%. I think that it is absolutely required. It is absolutely necessary. And if things keep going the way they're going without drastic change, things are not going to end up very well. So Kai, congrats. You won me over, and love the content, brother. You're good. You're a cool ass dude. So keep it rolling. All right, guys, be sure to smash that subscribe button, because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. And at the very least, like, comment, share. You know the drill. Brittany, give me a call. I'm kidding. Don't. And at the very least, share. Well, I already said that. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. In fact, our feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love y'all. See you guys next time on the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. Bye-bye.